Radio Retrofuture.
There was something really interesting you told me a day about reaching the mainstream audience. Because apparently, I didn't know this, steampunk, the name alone, causes some controversy in the German population.
Yeah, that is a huge problem. It's not a big one, it's a monster problem. Because we have had in the 80s, and especially in the 80s, in the beginning 70s, a big punk scene here in Germany. And they was very wild, very drunken, and make a lot of rubbish things. Okay, I was joining the punk scene a little bit. Not all of the people was like this. Television news, everywhere you can see only the bad side of the punks. This is now in the heads of the people here in Germany. And if you have anything with punk, the people are scared and won't join this. I've heard that hundreds of times on the Steampunk Spaß in Osnabrück. So-called normal people was talking to me, and for example, they say, "Yeah, we have seen that in the newspaper, and we was curious to see that. But my neighbors say, no, we don't go to the punkers. We are scared." Or another example, I was at the cashier sitting, and 3 or 4 kids come, and they was very curious to see anything, and they look like this, and then they say, come on, our parents has forbidden to go to the punks. You see, and that is the problem. We didn't transport that perfectly to the normal people what we are doing at the museum, and for the next time we have to do a lot public relation for us steampunks, because the thinking of a punk in Germany is 99% bad, and we have to work on this very hardly, because I would really be happy if more normal people join us and enjoy us.
Right. It's funny because I think I've spoken to quite a number of German steampunks about this, and they never told me this story. So I was quite surprised when you told me this, because I've been to Bochum with the Steampunk Jahrmarkt. And the first time I was standing there in line waiting to go in, it was just in the evening then. And there were some normal people, as you call them, standing next to me, and they didn't even know where they were going, and they were really enthusiastic, and they were wondering what was going on and what was there to see. So my experience with German audiences in general is that they are very curious to learn about new things. But could that be a regional thing, something that's just different in the local area?
No, I don't think so, because you have said that by yourself. To the Bochum Steampunk Jahrmarkt, there was also normal people. At Steampunk Spaß, there was normal people, but not so many as it could be. If you look, for example, to a medieval festival, you have in the audience 95% normal people and 5% in the costumes. If you go to a Steampunk Jahrmarkt in Bochum, or if you go to Steampunk Spaß, 80% are steampunks. So that's great for our scene to meet each other, meet and greet, but what I would be happy if it was minimum 50-50, you see, 50% normal people, 50% steampunks or gothics or whatever, but we have to touch the normal people in Germany, and that is not easy, and that's why I plan next time, for example, to go 3 or 4 times with a group of steampunks into the middle of Osnabrück, and we want to perform then a little bit, and I hand out flyers to the people and say, hey, we are no punker like you think, you see, we are à la Jules Verne, we are Victorian, we are artists, so please come and join us and bring your friends and neighbors to us. You will see a new great movement of the 21st century.
But now you start on the subject. What is steampunk to you? How would you describe it to the normal audience?
A simple way for me always is if I say we are settled in the Victorian time. We are all a kind of historical outfits, historical looking, but our punk is not the wild, drunken one, maybe you know, with an Irokese haircut or whatever. Our punk is our freedom to live out our art side, yeah? So, for example, with the top hat, yeah, we have a top hat what is from the 19th century, but we make machines on it or goggles or whatever, and this is a kind of punk. We use the word for punk. For us, it's the punk to be free in the Victorian time. Whatever you want, whatever you want to do, you can do. On the other hand, in the medieval, it is not very common or not very well seen if you are in the medieval scene and you are doing freaky things. You know what I mean? They want that you are be strictly in the medieval and use only things what could happen or could be in the medieval time.
Yeah,
and
being historically correct.
Yeah.
If I may jump in here for a moment, I'm communicating off of my phone while we're doing this here with half a dozen people, and there have been issues that they've brought up. Two of them absolutely are raving about to the positive about the event, saying that it was absolutely magnificent. The station was amazing. Another one is also saying that in France, the same negative terminology with punk, which is why they refer to themselves as steamers, vaporistes, I believe, or vaporistes is the French term, steamers. I have often referred to steampunk in Germany as Dampfpunk. I'm wondering if a softening of the term, you know, using Dampf might, or is it the fact that the word punk is associated completely?
Yes, that is a thing. Not the steam.
Okay.
We call us steamers. Maybe the people ask, what is it? Huh?
Well, that's good if they ask, okay? And you can, at that point, it opens the conversation to where you can say the rest of the world uses steampunk because punk does not necessarily have that connotation, okay? Actually, when the term was created, it was intended as a joke.
A wordplay on cyberpunk.
Yes, exactly, because the cyberpunks were so strange and nasty. Well, we have steampunks, and they're laid back and lazy. Okay, that was the original thing, and of course now people are taking punk at face value. And I just had someone else pop in on my phone. I should get my own show. Yeah, in France they're called vaporistes, and the rest of the message was cut off. So
let me come back to the name, Monty. You see, if you look to the German steampunk groups, I think you will never find the word punk. Think about it. Expeditionsgesellschaft. Oberdampflaboratorium. Papenburger Dampfgesellschaft. Yeah, you see, they have all names created around it because punk is very negative. And before we make the steampunk Spaß, we discussed about the name. And I say to my partner, Olaf, we have to take care. The word punk could be a problem for our event. We discussed to use another name like ETA Circus, for example, in Stade, where we met us. But then we came to the conclusion and said, no, let's force the name steampunk. The people can learn it. They can learn what is steampunk. But we want to push a little bit positive to the punk name. That's why we call it Steampunk Spaß. Spaß is in German fun. Steampunk fun is our name in English translated. Yeah. But we have to transport that the next time better to the normal people of Osnabrück, that we are no punkers in the meaning of the 80s, and that will come. And that's why I make a lot of hard work next time. I go personally with some other steampunks, and we make performance in Osnabrück maybe every week, 3 weeks ahead the festival. And then we give them flyers and say, let's have a look. We have these artists and these, and a crazy guy with a beard called Monty is coming hopefully etc. Yeah.
I'll commit myself now, and we'll talk details later.
Yeah. Okay.
Crazy Monty will be there.
I'm just, amazed, especially because now I hear from friends that the term there is also kind of loaded. I never heard of this before. Does the term steampunk have a problem in the US, Monty?
No, because it has been talked about so many times and so many places, and the intent of the author that coined the word. Okay, many people have read the book, and they understand that the word punk is a joke, that it was intended as a pun. I'm not quite sure. My German is horrible, and my Dutch is non-existent. My French I can work, and again, vétératiste is the term that they will often use almost immediately after the word steampunk, okay, and that sort of lightens it up and makes it, oh, that's what they mean, okay, and then there's almost always a small explanation, like you're saying, that it's not the nasty punks of the 80s, it's the fun steamer punks, okay, and that sort of lightens it up. And in the U.S. they fight over many things, but that's the terminology is not one of them.
No, I think in the U.S. you have a different history. I think the punk scene was not such a problem like here, maybe.
It was more intense in Europe than it was, and it was more intense in Germany. But then many things are more intense in the European theater of entertainment and everything else, where America, there are pockets, okay, but nothing specifically that would encompass an entire area. I can fully understand, though, that the difference over here, and it's a matter of educating the public too, as you have done by using PAS as part of the name.
Yeah.
It's a contradiction, and the contradiction in itself should make people question, well, what is this then? Is it not as bad as it used to be?
And I wish now for the future that steampunk goes more common, more mainstream, That, like now, if you say anybody, there's a big festival, everybody knows now what's going on there.
Yeah.
For the future, if you make a meeting or a steampunk, I don't know, whatever we do, that the people knows, these funny guys, they are very artists. Let's go there, yeah.
Yeah.
That is the wish for the future for me.